Plants. They're all around us. They are the reason we can live. But how do they survive in the heat of the desert, but also live in the cold of Siberia? The biggest reason is because of the type of photosynthesis they do. This is because photosynthesis is the way that plants get energy to grow and live. There are 3 types of photosynthesis. Let's start this adventure off in our own backyard. The first type of photosynthesis is called C3. It is called C3 because the CO2 is incorporated into a 3-carbon compound. The stromata stay open during the day, allowing for the exchange of oxygen gas for CO2. There's an enzyme in the leaf called rubisco. Rubisco is short for rubulase 1,5-biphosphate carbylase oxygenase. This type of plant is the best in an environment where it's cool, moist, under a normal light condition. C3 plants make about 85% of plants found throughout the whole world. C3 plants are considered to be the normal plants, performing light reactions and the Calvin cycle in the mesothelial cells of the leaf. In this type of plant, the bundle sheath cells do not contain any chloroplast. The second type of photosynthesis is called C4. In this type, CO2 is transferred from the surface mesothelial cells to the Hackton-Sleck pathways prior to the Calvin cycle. CO2 is added to a PEP carbylase. This will produce a 4-carbon compound, hence the name C4. Then the 4-carbon compound moves through the bundle sheath. In turn, this increases the CO2 concentration. This means Calvin cycle is favored over photorespiration. The bundle sheath contains chloroplast in this type of photosynthesis. This type of plant is usually grass, corn, or tropical plants. They live in an arid or tropical region, and they only make up about 4% of all plants in the world. The third type of photosynthesis we will be talking about is the CAM. This type of photosynthesis, the plants only open their stromatas at night. This helps them keep water in them because these plants live in a very hot, dry environment. When the stromatas open at night, there is an exchange of CO2 for O2. The CO2 is converted to an organic acid. This is done through the pathway talked about in C4 called the Hackton-Sleck pathway. During the day, light reactions will happen to power the Calvin cycle. CO2 is released from the organic acid, and the Calvin cycle converts it to an organic compound. Something to remember, though, is CO2 is taken in at night, but the Calvin cycle can only happen when a light reaction happens. This is because the light reaction creates the ATP, which can power the Calvin cycle. CAM plants make up about 10% of all plants found on the earth. Some of these plants include cacti and pineapples. CAM plants live in a very arid, dry environment. Each type of photosynthesis is made for a different type of climate. For that, there are different adaptations that each have. C3 plants are most efficient under a moderate light temperature and moisture level, like southern Ontario. C4 and CAM plants have a modified C3 photosynthesis that prevents photorespiration from happening and allows the plants to thrive in a hotter climate. C4 plants photosynthesize at a fast rate under high light, high heat conditions, such as a golf course. C4 changes the location where the Calvin cycle happens in the leaf. A CAM plant is most efficient user of water and can do something called CAM idling. This is when a CAM plant stores CO2 as an organic acid until the sun comes out and their stromatas close. CAM plants obtain their CO2 at a different time of day, allowing for water not to leave their cells at such a fast rate.